Hey there, it's Anonymous Tea, where we spill the tea anonymously. Hello, everyone. Hello, YouTubers. Hope you guys are all having an amazing day today, sending good vibes, sending positivity, sending blessings, and good energy to each and every single one of you. Thank you so much for tuning in. So, anything I say is alleged and in my very, very personal opinion. This is for entertainment purposes only. None of this is personal. The Copyright Act of 1976 is in the description box. Some meat and potatoes, some housekeeping items. It is free to follow me. Free to follow me on this channel, Anonymous Tea. Free to follow me on my other channel, Anonymous Tea Podcast. There is new content over there. Follow me on the Tickety Talk at Anonymous Tea Podcast. Free to follow me on the Instagram. On the Instagram is at Anonymous Reality Tea. Free to share everywhere. Free to like the video so it gets out to the algorithm. Free to share with your family, your friends, and your foes, and coming or going, hit the like button. So in this video, we're talking Nicki Minaj versus Cardi B, but I want to talk about in this video, what is the root of the issue? And is this a specific Young Money issue? Just walk with me for a minute, right? Because Drake and Nicki Minaj, I feel like, are moving in a lot of parallels that I don't know if y'all peeping. I alluded to it in my last Cardi B and Nicki Minaj video that it was giving, like, I felt PTSD. I felt like deja vu, like we just went through this with the whole Drake versus Kendrick Lamar. And what do I mean by this, right? When Nicki Minaj and Drake first came out, they were getting all this love, all of these, other celebrities, other of their quote-unquote peers were hopping on their remixes, were hyping them up, were asking them for features, were having them be all a part of this umbrella and this small network and everything else. And they felt untouchable. They were working with all of the greats. They were getting all these hits. They were selling out albums. They were selling out tours and everything else. But even they used to be opening acts for somebody else. Even they had to pay their dues to get to where they were at. But for a while, once they got to the top, they really didn't have competition like that. And when they did get in beefs, right? When Nicki Minaj was going at Lil' Kim, when there was all these different little beefs, or Drake going at Meek Mill, or going at Pusha T, or things like that, right? It was all up and everything else because Drake and Nicki Minaj, they were the new darlings. They were the new shiny toys that was selling all these records, that was breaking all these records. And the older generation, the previous rappers, needed to respect it. They needed to, fall in line. And then what happens, right? All of a sudden, Kendrick Lamar, even though Kendrick Lamar had already been holding its own, but really exploded, really had blown up, right? And Drake didn't like that. And felt as though he was being insulted and felt that he was being sabotaged and all this and all that. And then when y'all beef and y'all going back and forth, all of it is good until Not Like Us came out. And then all of a sudden it's a problem. Then all of a sudden you're mad at any celebrity, any athlete, any entertainer that goes to a Kendrick Lamar concert that is singing Not Like Us. You feel that's a slap in the face to you and all this and all that. You're mad at LeBron James. You're mad at all these people. You're unfollowing people and everything else. And then you file a lawsuit and allude to payola and sabotage and fake streams and fake this and fake that and everything else, trying to shut down the whole operation. But I always said that whole time, put your response on wax. And I feel like there's so many parallels with this Nicki versus Cardi thing. That manufactured or not, they're pushing Cardi. Not me saying Carly. They're pushing Cardi B. Manufactured or not, they're pushing Cardi B. Nicki Minaj cannot handle it. But again, she had to go through the same thing. She had to pay her dues. She had to earn her spot. We can go back to the issue with the song and what they felt the lyrics were, who felt who was disrespect, but all it feels like is what Nicki Minaj wanted Cardi B to do was she wanted Cardi B to kiss the ring, to bow down to Nicki Minaj and say, "You're the queen, nobody's better than you, da 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 da." And wanted Cardi B not to work with or not to deal with anybody that Nicki Minaj had any beef with. Make it make sense. And because Cardi B didn't do that and is trying to carve out her own lane, it's a problem. But I don't understand invoking God, invoking all these other celebrities, and trying to invoke scripture into all of this when I can argue that there's been questionable things that Nicki Minaj has done in her career that I didn't feel was appropriate or was necessary for her to do for an artist that is established and that already was successful. But it's just giving insecure. It is just giving there can only be one. And that's weird. Y'all been in this music industry long enough to know to see all types of other artists be phased out, other artists be sabotaged, other artists being taken advantage of, and y'all sat there and watched it happen and did not say anything. But now that it has happened to you to some level, and really all it means is you're not getting the same backing that you used to get when you were on top. So basically it means you have to fund a lot of your projects, or you have to adhere to a different budget that you're not accustomed to. And you have to be really out there, utilizing your fan base and utilizing your supporters, to push out your new stuff, to push out your new records and everything else. But I think a big mistake that both Drake has made and Nicki Minaj has made is they have never ventured outside of music. They've dibbled and dabbled in other things, and clothing lines and acting here and there and all this and all of that. But for whatever reason, they feel that they own the rap industry. They feel they own the music industry. And the music industry is always looking for your replacement. The music industry is always looking to push a new, younger version of you, or a variation of you. They're always looking to do that. But what I don't understand is why y'all just didn't pull a Rihanna. Why didn't y'all pull a Rihanna and come up and build your own global brand in something else? Because it was getting to a point where, because I didn't even understand it after a while, why there kept being Rihanna and Beyonce comparisons when they were not the same genre. People, whether you're a Rihanna fan or not, you can respect that Beyonce has, the better vocal range, the better performances. Nobody's arguing that. But some people can argue, Rihanna has a good ear for music. Rihanna knows what songs are going to be popular, what songs are going to hit. But the one thing Rihanna did was when she saw that Anti was sabotaged, she said deuces to the music industry. I'll come here and there for some features. I'll do a soundtrack for you that gets nominated for an Oscar. I'll do a song on a soundtrack for the Smurfs movie. We'll do music here and there. But effectively, I'm retired. I'm retired, and I'm putting everything into Fenty Beauty, into Savage X Fenty, into Fenty Skin, into Fenty Hair, into Fenty Kids, into Fenty Furniture, into Fenty Homes, into Fenty whatever the HELL I want to do. And I don't think everybody else got the memo. All they saw was how much Rihanna made off of Fenty Beauty, which she's 51% owner of with LVMH. And they all wanted to replicate that. Oh, Rihanna's making this. She's making billions in this with Fenty Beauty. Maybe I can do makeup. Maybe I can do hair. Maybe I can do this. Maybe I can do that. But it's global. Rihanna's ideas are global for what she has for the Fenty brand.
And because it is worth billions, she hasn't had to go back to music. She doesn't need to go back to music, but it's giving with Drake and Nicki Minaj. It's giving that this is y'all main source of income, which is why Nicki Minaj is pushing for boycotts of any type of endorsements Cardi B has, which is why Nicki Minaj is pushing for her supporters to continue to buy her old music and everything else. And it's giving, it's just giving you feel a certain type of way about the success Cardi B has. And y'all keep wanting to talk about pure sales and first week numbers and everything else. And I'll give you back to the Rihanna situation. Her first week for Anti sold, because somebody leaked it, was like 400 and something copies. But guess what? It's still on the charts today on the Billboard 200. It is one of her best-selling albums. It is multi-platinum. It is very successful. And she is one of the top artists still being streamed to this day. Now, some can argue maybe that's because she hasn't put out new music. Or you can argue that the music that she has put out is good. And it still ages well today. But none of the less, you guys. We're losing the plot here. We're losing the plot as it pertains to Drake and Nicki Minaj and their beef with Kendrick Lamar and Cardi B. And it's weird that they're demanding for people to boycott and cancel, but when y'all have done questionable things in y'all careers, when y'all have said questionable things in y'all careers, y'all weren't canceled and y'all should have been, right? Like let's talk about it. But y'all had a big enough influence, y'all had a big enough fan base, or arguably enough people pushing you that it got swept under the rug. That a lot of y'all problematic stuff has gotten swept under the rug. And y'all want to talk about other people's personal lives, but y'all personal lives are messy too. Like what are we talking about? But I just want all of this to stop because it is exhausting. It is annoying. It is, it's just gutter. And it's clear to me that Nicki Minaj does not have the same influence as she once had. She does not have the same opportunities as she once had. So she thinks trying to take Cardi down to her level, that Cardi B's going to lose out on everything too. But I don't think she realizes one of the reasons that a lot of people like Cardi B is she's never tried to pretend to be something she wasn't. And I think that is part of what fans are appealed to her about. That she's been unfiltered, she's been relatable, she's been personable. And this is not to defend Cardi or whatever else. This is to say that it's really weird. Y'all wait until she comes out with new music to do all this foolishness and then try to drag other people into the beef as well, only for you to ignore them anyways, when it was only solely about trying to knock Cardi B down a peg. But I feel like in the long run, this is not going to age well. And in the long run, it's still going to be Cardi B when it's all said and done, because she has a double platinum album. So, nonetheless, I just wanted to speak on that because I was like, I feel like this is deja vu. And if Cardi B ends up at that Super Bowl with Bad Bunny, you guys, just like Kendrick Lamar headlined the Super Bowl last year, like it is about to be even messier than mess, you guys. Because it would be good promotion for Cardi B as well, since she's going on tour next year. But that would just be the icing on the cake. After Nicki Minaj coming for Jay-Z, trying to allude that she has tea on Beyonce and Jay-Z's children, and all this other foolishness about people copying her and everything else, like for Cardi B to be at that Super Bowl too with Bad Bunny. That would be crazy. So there's that. Es todos, es final, es finito. It's the end of the road. It's the end of the line. It is the end of the video. Please let me know your thoughts in the comments. Please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you're notified the moment I post new content on my channel. And with that being said, I will talk to you guys again very soon.